Let us start the chapter with Newton's first law. If a body is in a state of rest, it will remain in the state of rest, and if it is in a state of motion, it will remain moving in the same direction with the same speed unless an external force is applied on it. Means every body in the universe stays in the state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line unless and until it is compelled by any external force to change its state. Let us take some examples in order to describe Newton's first law. The first one is a book lying on a tabletop will remain placed at its place unless it is displaced. Means if a book is placed on a table, it will remain at its own place unless and until it is pushed by something. Fine. So whenever the force is applied, then only the book comes into the motion. Next example is a ball rolling on a horizontal plane keeps on rolling unless the force of friction between the ball and the plane stops it. It means if a ball is rolling, it keep on rolling and rolling and rolling unless the force of friction, I have already told you the force of friction is a resistive force. It resists the motion. In the previous video I explained you. So the force of friction is responsible for stopping a rolling ball. If there is no force of friction, the ball keep on rolling. You have to remember all these points. The first one is Newton's first law gives the qualitative definition of force. The qualitative definition of force is the force can be defined as an external cause which tends to change the state of rest or the state of motion of an object. It means force is responsible for changing the state of any object. If the object is at rest, it will come into motion because of force, and if the object is in motion, then it will come to rest because of the force. The second point is Newton's first law is also called the law of inertia. It is also named as law of inertia. Inertia. This is something new for you, so try to understand it. The definition says the property of an object by virtue of which it neither changes its state nor it tends to change the state is called inertia. Or it can be defined as inertia is an inherent property of a body by virtue of which it has a tendency to resist the change in its state of rest or of state of motion. It means that inertia is the inability of every body because of which it resists the change in its state. If the body is in a state of rest, it cannot itself change its state into motion. Similarly, if a body is in a state of motion, it does not itself change into state of rest. Now remember that inertia depends on the mass of the body. The greater the mass, the greater will be the inertia of the body. Lesser the mass, less will be the inertia of the body. For example, it is more difficult to stop the cricket ball in comparison to the tennis ball when they both are moving with the same velocity. Why? Because the cricket ball has more inertia, because its mass is more, as compared to the tennis ball which has less mass and thus less inertia. Fine. Similarly, if we want to stop a loaded trolley, the more force is required as compared to stop the unloaded trolley. Why? Again the same reason, because loaded trolley has more mass, it has more inertia, and thus more force is required to stop it. Whereas unloaded trolley has less mass and thus less inertia, and thus less force is required. Kinds of inertia. Inertia can be classified into three categories: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Let us take one by one. The first one is inertia of rest. The inherent property of a body by virtue of which it cannot change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. Means if a body is at rest, it will remain at rest unless an external force is applied on it to change its state of rest. So this property of a body is called inertia of rest. Now let us take some examples in order to understand the term inertia of rest. The first example is when a train suddenly starts moving forward, the passenger standing in a train tends to fall backward. This is the common experience. We have observed this, that if we are standing in a train and train started suddenly, we get a backward jerk. We fall backward. Why? The reason is that when the train start moving, our lower part of our body comes into motion, whereas our upper part of the body stays in rest because of inertia of rest, and thus the lower part move ahead along with the motion of a train and the leaving behind the upper part, and thus we get a jerk in the backward direction. Similarly, the another example is when a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, the dust particles start falling out of it. Now what's the reason behind it? The reason is when the hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, so we are applying a stick on the hanging carpet, it means we are applying the force. Because of this force, the carpet comes into motion, whereas the dust particles, again due to its inertia of rest, remain at rest, and thus they get separated from the carpet and fall down. The next example, on shaking the branches of a tree, the fruit fall down. You have observed this also, that whenever we shake a branch of a tree, the fruits on over it fall down. The reason? Because when the tree is shaken, it comes into motion, whereas the fruit, again because of inertia of rest, stays in its rest position, and they get separated from the branch and they ultimately comes down. Next is inertia of motion. The inherent property of a body by virtue of which it cannot change its state of motion is called inertia of motion. It means if a body is in a state of motion, it continues to be in the state of motion with the same speed in the same direction in a straight line unless an external force is applied on it to change its state. This property of a body is called inertia of motion. Let us take few examples in order to describe inertia of motion. The first one is a cyclist riding along a level road does not come to rest immediately after he stops pedaling. It means if a cycle is in motion, it will continue to be in motion, obviously because of inertia of motion, even after the cyclist stops applying force on the pedal. Although after some time the cycle stops because of force of friction, fine, but not immediately. The second example is when a running car stops suddenly, the passenger tends to lean forward. Means a car is moving, it is running, and the passenger is inside it, get a forward jerk if we immediately apply the brake. If the car stops suddenly, then the passenger lean forward. Fine. Why? What's the reason behind it? Because when the car is running and the passenger is sitting inside the car, his whole body is in motion. Fine. When the car is stopped by applying the brake, the lower part of the body of a passenger comes into rest, whereas its upper part is still in motion because of inertia of motion, and thus he get a forward jerk. The another example is when a passenger jumps out of a moving train, he falls down. This is a very common experience. You have observed this, that whenever we jump out of a moving train or a bus, we fall down. Reason? Again the same thing. When the passenger is inside the moving train, his whole body is in motion. Fine. When he jumps out, his lower part of the body comes in contact with the ground and it comes to rest, whereas the upper part of the body is still in motion because of inertia of motion, and thus he falls down. In order to avoid this situation, the passenger should start running on the ground in the direction of motion of the train for some distance, and thus he will get less hurt. The last one is inertia of direction. The inherent property of a body by virtue of which it cannot change its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. The example I have given: a stone tied to a string and whirled along a circular path flies off tangentially when its string is suddenly broken. Again, what's the reason? Because of inertia of direction. Means a body cannot change its direction of motion unless and until a force is applied on it.